All right, we'll call the Green Bay Sex Offender Residency Board to meet. Roll call.
I've got roll call documented, thank you.
Okay. We need an approval for the agenda for the March 20th, 2024 meeting.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Oops, I'm sorry. Yep, we need an approval of the minutes from the February 21st meeting.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Our first regular business is the appeal of Robert Burlack Jr. requesting to move to 421 Cherry Street. Mr. Burlack, can you hear us?
He's muted, there he is.
Yes,
Okay. I understand that you've been before us once before, but it's been quite some time. So we're going to ask you to tell us what you were convicted of. When you talk about your offense, please be as specific as possible. Do not list the victim by name or relationship. Do you understand that? Okay.
yes.
All right, so if you could go ahead and tell us about your first conviction.
Well, my first conviction was back in '94 and first degree sexual assault to a child. I did group back then. My group I did in KMCI, that's out Kettle Moraine Correctional.
I'm going to stop you there for a moment. We don't want you to talk about any treatment at this point because you do have the option to talk about treatment in open session, or we can go into closed session. So we don't really want to talk about that until we get to that point, okay?
I got you.
Okay, thank you.
My second offense,
Oh, well, let's talk a little bit more about your first. So, first degree sexual assault of a child. What exactly happened?
forced and oral sex. And that was in '94, I did 3 years.
And how old were you?
Pardon?
How old were you?
Back then, I think I was about 30.
And the victim was how old?
I believe at 9.
Okay. And how did that situation come about?
Well, I was under influence of drug, and it was at my house, and I bought the oral effects.
Was it a one-time?
Yes, ma'am.
And then how did the police get involved?
They were called in on this situation. They were called in. It was reported.
At school, or did the mother report it? A family member?
I think it's the mother.
And when the police talked to you about the incident, what
Yeah.
happened? When the police talked to you about the incident, did you say, yes, I did this, no, I did not?
I don't think they questioned me about it. They just booked me for sexual assault, and I talked to my lawyer after that.
And then did you go to trial?
Yes, ma'am. I just took the plea bargain. I pleaded guilty.
Okay. And you got 3 years prison for that?
It was the whole thing was 6.5. It was 6.5 years, and I've done like 3 in there. Then I was at a release camp. And the rest was on probation.
Okay. All right. Your next conviction?
Next conviction was on 06-1. It was on 6-6, in 07. for soliciting for prostitution. She was 11, and I offered her money to see her breasts. There was no contact, touching them in there. And I don't know what degree, I don't think it was any third, second, or third degree that was. Because it doesn't say in my paper. And well, I got 2 years for that one.
2 years in
And that-
prison?
Yes,
Okay.
so I got 2 years for that one. And I think from there I went to a release camp too on that one.
Okay.
And, okay. And that's it for the 2 convictions of sexual assault,
Okay.
which is
All right, on the case from 94, so you would have gotten out of prison in about 97, is that correct?
I think a little before 97 I got out.
Okay,
I was on probation.
all right.
No, yeah, discharge. It's been a long time ago, and I don't have much paperwork for instance, none of this. But if you would try to help me find a lot of it. Because it's got here, I sent you a copy with it.
Okay. So you got out in 97, and then approximately, give or take, say 10 years later, you decided to solicit a minor?
Yes,
Okay. And yet, okay, hold on. If we want to talk about your treatment, do you want to do that in public session or closed session?
on which mean?
So if we talk about your treatment in public session, that means everybody that's on this meeting is going to hear you.
Okay,
Otherwise, closed session means everybody has to leave.
we can have it open.
Okay. Before we get to that, I just want to confirm we have a captain from the Green Bay Police Department. Typically, they have a copy of your criminal complaint, and we just want to confirm with him what you told us is accurate.
Okay,
Hi, it's Lieutenant Jason Allen.
Hi.
I got on a little bit late, I just want to make sure that, I heard him talk about count 2 from a 1994 conviction, but just so that the group knows that there was a count 1 that was involved in that sentencing as well.
yes,
Okay. And,
Oh,
go ahead.
I just said otherwise, what he spoke about from count number 2 and then the 2007 conviction were accurate.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Does anyone have questions about his case from the board? Okay. So, Mr. Burlick, what I'd like to know is, you told us you attended group at Kettle Moraine while you were in custody for your first offense. Yet 10 years later, you commit another offense. So
Yeah.
what happened there?
That was soliciting for prostitution.
Right, I understand that, but if you went through treatment, why would you do it, something like that again?
Well, she was staying with us at that time, she was staying with us, and, well, she was kind of like doing like handstands and flips like that, and she was exposing her body. So that kind of triggered it.
And so, that because she was doing those actions, it's acceptable to ask her to show you her private areas?
Yeah, that was, yeah. I offered her money.
Okay. All right. Have you received any other kind of treatment? Other than in
Just,
the 90s?
When, not sure what year that was, I think it was when I got out, I went and Sam, the Bellin Building downtown in Walnut. I did my AODA in there. And right now I'm doing treatment too. I'm doing treatment here on the street too pretty soon here.
Okay. So how long have you been out of prison or out of custody?
Well, for a long time, since 2007, I haven't been in custody until just recently.
And why are you in, what happened recently?
I caught criminal damages to property, here. Let's see. There's no one. Disorderly conduct, domestic abuse, battery, and paraphernalia of THC. And I'm on paper for that right now.
But you got no prison or jail time for that?
No, the judge, when he sentenced me, he gave me 2 years of probation and 60 days in jail. And I did the 60 days.
Okay. And that case is out of Marathon County, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you been living in Marathon County for a while?
Yes.
When did you actually move back to Green Bay?
I've been here now about 2 years.
Living at the 819 Shawano Ave?
No, I've been bouncing around. I'm staying like family members bouncing around here. And right now where I'm at, I'm temporary. I was in a halfway house for a little while. And now my agent recommended me a place. It's called My House. It's 421 Cherry Street. It's a drug-free place to live. That's what I'm trying to get into.
So would you say that you have a problem with either drugs or alcohol?
Well, I've been clean. It's just no alcohol though. It's just mostly drugs. I've been clean for going on a month now, a month and a half.
Okay.
So I'm doing pretty good.
Okay. Are you working?
Pardon?
Do you work?
No, ma'am. I'm retired.
Okay. All right. Does the board have any questions?
None here. No.
Okay. Did you mention to us that you have an open case out of Brown County for failure to maintain a sex offender registry?
Yes.
You did mention
Yes.
that?
Pardon?
Did you mention that to us?
No, until just now. Yeah, I have a case for that, for not complying. I don't know how that happened.
Well,
They're bouncing around, but it's all cleaned up now. I just gotta go to court in, April 29th, I believe, this month of 29th.
and are you working on a plea agreement for that?
Yes.
And do
You
you?
got 2 years of paper.
Okay. Okay. Right. Is there anything else you want to tell us? Or have to say?
Yeah, I'm just getting ready to, the Medic Family Solution for AODA. I'm waiting to get in there. I got a meeting with her. That's coming up on, I think next month I'll have a meeting with her, assessment I'll have with her.
Okay.
I gotta call her tomorrow, so I see my few other days. Got her email and stuff.
Okay. So, when was the last time you did, any kind of sex offender treatment? It was back in the 90s? You haven't done
Yeah.
anything since then?
Yeah, it was back in the 90s when I did it at KMCI, Kevin Marine Correctional.
Okay. Okay.
You didn't do any treatment after your second charge? Prostitution?
I think I did it inside of the prison where I was at. I think I might have did one in there. Because if I go back to prison, they always, I automatically give you one, a plastic.
Well, your judgment of conviction from your soliciting a child for prostitution said that you needed to enroll in sex offender treatment within 30 days of release from prison. So you never did that?
I don't remember if I did or not. That's, I got a bad memory for things, and real low on IQ of reading and writing.
Okay.
I might have done it, when I got out, because I believe I was on paper. Also, I'm on a bracelet, a lifetime bracelet.
A lifetime bracelet?
Yeah, the GPS.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm not really comfortable, allowing you to stay at this address. Your convictions were pretty close together. Yes, you said you went to treatment, but you completed that while you were in prison, and even though you knew what your triggers were, you still were able to solicit a minor, and you really didn't see anything wrong with doing that. So, my opinion is I would not approve you to reside at 421 Cherry Street. However, we have 3 other board members who may have their opinions, may differ from mine, so does anyone have anything?
I'm concerned whether or not he did his treatment after the second charge. I would like to know whether he did or not. I also have some concerns proving that. He is on a bracelet for life, and this is a sober living facility, and so I'm struggling, I'm not sure.
I agree with Craig. If we knew more about the treatment, if he did get the treatment, that would make a difference. I don't know if they have programs over here for the treatment or not.
No, it's a sober living facility.
Dominique? Your thoughts?
Yeah.
I'm just late at this moment. I am not sure if he would possibly recommit a crime. But on the other hand, he is on a lifetime bracelet, so I'm a little split at this moment.
Okay. Well, a couple of you are split. I'm not sure if someone wants to make a motion, or if we need to have further discussion.
Can I add something real quick here?
Yes, please do so.
This is my house place on 421 Cherry Street. It's right next door to the PO's office downtown.
Uh-huh.
And there's nothing around there. No schools or parks or nothing down there. And they have treatment there too.
The library is right around the corner.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
And Encompass Daycare.
yeah, and a daycare facility.
really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's gonna live down there, so it's downtown. Okay,
Yeah. I mean, so I have that concern. I have a concern, like I said, that you did treatment, you still reoffended. Yes, you've been sober for a month. That's very easy to relapse. I feel like a month is not very long, especially when you said the first offense occurred because you were under the influence of drugs.
yes,
So, that's where I stand.
Move to deny.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I,
What is she?
Aye.
I can't hear you. Dominique, did you vote to
Deny.
deny or to oppose denial?
I voted to deny, I voted aye.
Okay. thank
Okay.
you.
All right, Mr. Burlak, you are not approved to go to the 421 Cherry Street. If your circumstances change, you're more than welcome to come back before us. I would suggest that if you do come back before us, you try to obtain any kind of documentation that you can regarding your treatment, or possibly enroll in treatment again.
okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
All right, our next appeal is Leo Matson.
Page,
Full disclosure, Mr. Mattson is a customer of mine.
Papers?
Have a seat right there, please.
Did you bring some paperwork?
Yeah. Treatment documentation and my work.
All right. Okay. Mr. Mattson, it's been quite some time that you've also been before us. So we'll start off, if you could tell us what you were convicted of. Again, the circumstances surrounding the arrest. You don't need to, please don't tell us the name of the victim or the relationship, okay? All right, go ahead.
Circumstances were, I was invited up north to a birthday party with a friend slash relative that had minor girls, underage girls, and one had began to rub her genitals on me, and that was rather unacceptable to me at a point of the age of her and the way she was acting out was not acceptable to me, but her mother seemed not to advise her that that was inappropriate after my telling her to do so, to, let her child know that it's not appropriate to be acting in such a manner. The uncle had advised the child of the same being. Her and her sister were doing the same thing, they'd be under the covers and rubbing each other's genitals together and different things. And somehow it come to a point where went to alleviate the situation at one point, and my hand had touched close to their private area outside her clothes. There was no exposure or touch of the skin or anything to that effect. 3 days later, I get a call and to go down to the PO's office, and there was a report of me touching her too. So that's where they come with the assault of inappropriate.
And was that the case from 2010, or was that the case from 2018?
18.
That was the 2018 case? Okay. And then the 2010 case?
2010, that was a mistress of mine's daughter. I was married at the time, and started to see this other female. We went in, I don't know, I seen her maybe a month and a half, and it was getting more serious than I thought, and she had a daughter too, and she ordered some things from the store, so I picked them up for her after a long day's work. I had my own business, landscape business. I picked them up for her, and when I get there, then she sends me with the child to the store to get some more things, and it's this, you know, I get it, she didn't have no money, and I had money, and, you know, I had everything, I guess, that she possibly wanted, but I was too blind to see that. But she sends me to the store with the child, and then the child requests this, that, other thing in the store, and, you know, I get it for her or whatever, and then we leave and then we go to the park, which was adjacent. We just walked, and then we just walked to the park, which was just like around the block, within that same block. So we went over there, went to the park, and then she went on the slide, she was on the swings and whatever, and I said, well, it's getting late, you know, we better get going. So I sat down on the slide, and she just come down the slide, and then she claimed that I had inappropriately touched her as well. There was no exposure or anything to that, but these people I have known. It wasn't like a public act or anything. I had known both victims as far as, you know, acquaintance.
Captain Allen, is that correct? I know one of the cases is from Forest County, so I'm not sure if you have access to that information.
Yes, I do. So, to start with, let's just talk about this one that took place in Brown County.
Okay.
So his recollection of the events is not exactly consistent with what is in the criminal complaint. Specifically, there was the defendant, I'm just trying to, it's almost convoluted that, you know, he's interrupting or like getting both of the cases confused, but essentially the one that took place in Brown County back in 2010, he admitted to detectives that he had touched her breasts at the park, saying something along the lines that she thought that her chest hurt, but that he admitted to touching her chest, but then telling detectives that both the mother and the daughter were fighting for one piece of the pie, meaning they were both wanting him sexually. The second one from Forest County, he was charged with enticement, and they have text messages that were sexually explicit in nature back and forth between Mr. Mattson and the victim in the case. So I think he left that portion of it out. He basically said that there was, that it was like basically a misunderstanding or whatever, or what happened, but that's not consistent with what the criminal complaint had in there.
Okay, thank you.
But okay.
Does this ring a bell now, what he's just
Well, I'd like
said?
to interject on some of that stuff there. A lot of the messages were affixed for the mother, and the mother proclaimed that, oh, well, that was her phone, she read the messages. The messages were directed towards her, not knowing that the child was on the phone, was on the other end reading them. And when we come to find out that, okay, that, anyways, it wound up to be, they dropped that, the judge had thrown that out, and he charged me with just first degree. He said that there was no, like, enticement or anything like that that had happened. The doors were never locked, and it was always open, and it was open to the mother or whoever wanted to come in there. It wasn't like it was locked, and it wasn't able to have access to the room. So that's why he wound up giving me what he gave me, I guess, the judge. He put another 2 years on my 3 years revocation, and then 10 years paper.
Did you not go to prison for 5 years?
Yeah, I went and did the probation and then the time for the charge.
Okay. And so, on that 2010 case, how old were you?
Approximately, let's see, maybe 40.
And I'm sorry, I'm not sure if maybe I misunderstood Captain Allen, but he said that when you talked to the detectives, you said that the mom and the daughter were fighting for you sexually. So you're 40 years old, and then the mother and a 9-year-old are. Is that what he's saying?
I don't really know if it's really to that effect. It was wasn't really fighting. It was the needing of the monetary things that I had for them. That's more or less what it was meant to say. I guess meant to reveal that they wanted my money for things that they needed more than me myself. That's what it was meant by that.
Okay, and then if we want to talk about your treatment, do you wish to remain in public session or go into closed session?
You can, that's fine.
Okay. All right, before we go into that, does anyone have any questions regarding his offense?
Were you found guilty by a jury in the Brown County case?
Yes, and then I appealed that. I took it to the appellate court in Madison, and then I came back, and they found that, there was something that, because there was never any DNA found on her. There was several other DNA found on that first offense on that child, several other male DNAs, but not mine.
So was your conviction vacated then?
Didn't vacate it, no. I just pled out, and they just left it as it was. They never, I told them, I pled not guilty the first time, and then they, when I appealed it, because they said, well, the jury said I was guilty, so okay, so I appealed it. I went to the appellate court in Madison, and we came back here, and
lost.
We thought we had a strong case,
But you lost.
but we lost, but yeah.
Okay.
They overturned it.
Okay, so are we good on the questions for the, okay. So you did provide us a letter from Family Services that you began sex offender treatment on February 28th and has been seen 3 times. You're working on risk management and relapse prevention planning along with ownership dynamics and overall healthy legal boundaries and limits. Is that the only treatment that you've received throughout the years? Did you receive any during the 2010 conviction?
Yes, I did.
You did, and did you do that in prison?
No, I did it out here in the street.
You did it out here?
Mhm.
At Family Services also? Or where did you do that treatment at?
Yeah, I guess it probably was hooked up with the family services, but it was across the road and next to Denal Cadillac. I don't remember the name of that place.
Was that the old Attic Services?
I think
Attic
it was.
Correctional
Yeah, I think it was.
Services?
Yeah, I think it was just that little building next door there. Denal.
Okay.
Yeah, I finished that, completed that, and I finished the aftercare treatment as well on that 2010 case.
Okay. Again, I'm sorry, I just want to go back to one thing. So on the 2010 case, you served 4 years. When did you actually get released from prison on that one?
2014,
2014.
in July.
Okay. July of 2014?
Mhm.
And then, in April of 2018 is when you again had your offense in Forest County.
Forest, yeah.
Okay. So, do you feel like you learned anything in treatment?
Yes, I did. Yes.
But then it was okay to go and
I learned a lot.
do another offense?
Well, no, it wasn't okay, you know, I'm really remorseful for that, and I feel bad, you know, that it come about, you know, I really do, you know, I just, you know, I don't, it's just, I guess the way, my life was going at that time, it's just, I totally wasn't thinking, I mean, things were going beyond, I guess, my control as far as thinking to alleviate that whole situation in time enough to save myself from that situation, because I knew it was a bad situation. I knew darn well it was a bad situation. I was warned of it, you know, by a friend, a lady friend that was living with me at the time. And she told me of that. She says, you need to get away from that girl and them girls. It's bad. It's totally bad. It wasn't healthy for me. And I guess I didn't see the light, you know, type of thing. And I just, like, another thing, you know, it's just, I'm the nice guy, you know. Sure, you know, oh, you know, could you get my daughter a cake, and could you get, you know, this, that, other thing, whatever, you know. It's like, why, sure, you know, well, I ain't got gas, and, you know, could you know, help me get up there so we can have a birthday party? Yeah, you know, no big deal, you know, I'm working, you know, and I got money again, and it's always running into that situation where, you know, I'm not gonna say I'm the nice guy, I don't wanna toot my horn, but hey, you know, I do well for myself out in the world, you know, and I always try my hardest to take my shirt off for the next guy, you know.
So tell me what's different from back in 2018 to today? How do I know that you're not going to do this again?
How do you know that I'm not gonna do this again? My thinking is a lot different now. I have a strong support system, my family, my friends. I'm in treatment. I just had a real good assessment at myself, a good look at myself, and what I have to lose, my family, my friends. It was rather devastating to me to have this happen again. And I'm grateful to be sitting here. Because there was things.
I'm sorry,
There
what?
was times I want to live apart. Yeah,
Some clearance right
yeah. Well, that's gonna, yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions for him? Dominique?
Yes. I have just a couple of comments that I want to make so that the group understands or knows exactly what I know from the criminal complaint.
Okay, thank you.
I know that Mr. Matson had indicated that he believed that he was sending those text messages or having that conversation with the mother or the adult in this instance. However, there's evidence within that indicates that he very much knew that he was talking to the daughter and not the mother. Just so that you guys know, and I feel based on his unwillingness to come forward today and talk about his story, it doesn't give good evidence towards him being a changed person from 2018 until now, because he's still at this very moment not willing to at least take ownership to the things that he did back in 2018 and was on me. No, I'll break for that. No, I'm done.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that clarification. So, Mr. Matson, when did you get out of prison for the 2018 case?
January 2nd this year.
And have you been at the halfway house since then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And are you working?
Yes, I am.
Where are you working at?
Psalm Partners, Denmark.
Okay. Okay.
I got a job 2 weeks after I got out
Okay.
of prison.
All right. Do you have any issues with drugs or alcohol?
None,
Okay.
none. I've been sober for over 21 years. Well, it'll be 21 years, 29th of this month.
All right. Is there any discussion or comments from the board?
I'm going to abstain. It's a relationship with Mr. Matson.
All right, well, I'm gonna just let you know how I feel. You know, again, you had this incident, you had treatment, and you went and did it again. You know, I understand that, you know, you're saying that you were a nice guy, but I feel like, you know, right now you're in treatment, you've only attended 3 sessions. For me, that's not enough comfort level to know that you're okay to be back out in the community right now, like at this address. But that's just, again, my opinion. There are other people on the board that may have a different opinion.
I kind of feel the same way.
Okay.
I will say that Leo is a good worker. He did go to work right away after he got out, and he still got that job. It says something for him. So,
Okay. Dominique, do you have anything?
I'm kind of the same way as you. Given the history and he hasn't had that much treatment right now, we don't know if, you know, this is going to be a repeat thing. So I'm kind of in the same boat of you, wanting to deny.
Okay. Does someone want to make that motion or a motion? I will. I will make a motion to deny Mr. Matson to 1100 Van Buren Avenue, apartment number 2. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
abstain.
Did you vote?
Yep.
Oh, did you catch his vote?
I did.
Oh,
Was it an aye or a nay?
and I.
Aye. Voting to deny?
Okay, so I'm sorry, Mr. Matson, at this time, you're not approved to reside at the 1100 Van Buren. Again, that's not saying that if things change in the future, maybe attend some more sessions, you can come back,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is the appeal of Brandon Harrison, requesting to move well, I should say probably still reside at 729 St. George Street. Brandon?
Yes,
Okay, you hear us?
yes, I do, ma'am.
Okay, all right, so, you were seen by us, back on December 20th, and we approved you to reside at your address, for 90 days, but then you had to provide us proof of attendance at sex offender treatment and then a status update from your provider. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Dominique, just so you are aware, we do have a letter here from Henger Enterprises that states, as a licensed professional counselor, this writer is familiar with Brandon. He started a group with this writer on February 6th. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact me. So that was what was provided to us for the treatment letter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Does anyone need him to go over his offense again, or are we familiar with it enough?
I do not.
Okay. So in reality, Mr. Harrison, you are really only required to come back here to provide us that information. I will say that, the last time I voted to deny you to reside at this address, Board Member Dominique was not present at that hearing, and the other two gentlemen did approve you to reside there. Again, one of the things that it stated was that we needed, we wanted to know that you were attending treatment and a status update. For me, this letter doesn't really give me a status update other than that you started the group on February 6th. So how long, well, actually, before I go into anything further, do you wish to talk about your treatment in public session or or go into closed session?
I would prefer closed session, ma'am.
Okay, so who,
There's nobody here.
Well, if that's the case, I'll just keep it open.
Well, it'll still be recording. I
Well,
stopped
yeah.
recording. If you don't need Lieutenant Allen anymore, he can go.
no, yeah. Jason, I think we're good with you. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Okay,
Captain.
bye-bye. Okay, Brandon, so if, right now, the only people that are left in the room and on the Zoom are going to be board members, but you do, if you,
We need a motion to go into closed session.
oh, but I'm going to explain it to him.
Oh, okay.
But
Because
it'll
he
still
said,
be recorded and be public
Yeah.
if he stays.
Yeah.
Okay.
so,
It's okay, I'll keep it open.
okay, but I do just want to explain that if we do keep it open, it is recorded and, that is published out on the minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're
I understand.
still, you're okay, staying in open?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, thank you. So can you kind of tell us, first of all, how often are you going to see Pablo?
I'm seeing Pablo every week on Tuesdays.
Okay, so that how many sessions do you have in so far?
Let me think. About 5 or 6.
Okay,
I'd have to count the Tuesdays.
yep, I was thinking it might be a tad bit more, but okay.
Okay.
Tell us what you have learned in treatment.
I'm starting to, I started working on it. My last assignment is really when it starts getting really in deep, and I started identifying ways that people distort their offense. And Pablo's really kind of explained to me, and it's helped me realize too on ways that I've distorted my offense. And the next assignment I'll be working on are, let's see, on define, he has me working on define 3 words: boundaries, values, and losses. I have to give examples of each of those, and it's not like the Merriam-Webster definition, it is what it means to me. My previous, before that assignment, it was looking into my life, on how I was living, how my thinking errors were, what my thinking errors were, how can I address them. I'll be working on in the future interventions for any of my thinking errors, working on identifying them more effectively. I've also been working with my my probation officer as well on other topics as well that also help contribute to my treatment.
Okay. All right. So could you tell us how you think that you distorted your offense?
I've distorted my offense in multiple ways.
Okay.
My first one, I distorted the facts. I told everybody that I did not do it. And I realized that I did this, I need to own up to it. You know, I need to take, I'm a grown man, I need to start taking responsibility for all my actions, current and past. I've distorted it in the impact of it on the victim by minimizing it. You know, I was looking at it like, okay, I didn't have sex with them, but it's looking at it, it is still wrong at what I did.
Okay.
I distorted the need for treatment or intervention. Looking at saying that, I was 16, 17, 18, 19 to the dates, the dates of the offense, that I'm a different person now and that I don't need treatment. But in distorting it that way, it doesn't help me become a better individual to society, that I could still distort in that way if I don't address that situation. If I don't address these thinking errors and these distortions, that, my life won't ever fully be on the right path and be whole.
Okay. Are you glad you're in treatment right now?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
Yep. I can
Because
tell.
it is helping me in more than just one way. It is helping me in almost all aspects of my life.
Wonderful. That's really what treatment is about. So I'm glad that you are really getting something out of it. Okay. Dominique, do you have anything you want to add? I know you weren't here for the first time he came before us.
No, I don't have anything else I need to know.
Okay. So, again, Mr. Harrison, I voted against, I denied you the last time. But listening to you today, I can tell that you needed the treatment. And I'm proud to hear what you've learned and accomplished through this treatment so far. I think you'll gain a lot more the further you go along. So if there's any board member that would like to make a motion. Are you guys still having to abstain because you know them?
I mean, I feel like I can make the motion. I'll make the motion to approve address specific.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 All right, opposed? Okay, Mr. Harrison, you're approved to continue to reside at 729 St. George Street. Just remember that if you do decide to move from that location, you do need to come back before us.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Keep it up, Brandon.
Good luck.
Thank you very much, and I will, Craig. I've been working 6 months now, and I've earned my temporary driver's license. I'm progressing the way I want to.
Way to go. Keep it up.
All right, thank
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, is there any other business we need to discuss?
Nope.
All right, our next meeting is scheduled for April 17th, and then we just need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Dominique.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
All right,
Bye, guys.
bye.
Aye.